Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and I wanted this video to go out last night after Raw, but the editing took longer than I thought, and I actually ended up skipping over a match. So, you're going to get two videos today, starting right now with how I would improve the WrestleMania card. Now, I know a lot of fans, they're not very happy with the build up to the show. What is supposed to be you know, the best show of the year for the WWE, and fans feel underwhelmed with the build. There's some matches that fans don't want to see, so I want to improve it. And I want to be honest, starting with the world title matches, I'm not changing anything. I know people want to take Jay out from the world title match, but I'm not doing that. I think the problem is that the WWE did things in reverse. The reason people don't like Jay going for the world title is because he eliminated John Cena. And at the time, before the Elimination Chamber, John Cena was a good guy. Everybody wanted to see him win that 17th title. I think if Jay actually wins at the Chamber, Cena would have won at the Rumble. The Rock on the first Netflix show on Raw, the first Raw on Netflix, would have introduced this whole story of I want Cody's soul, and he wants him to be the corporate champion, and then we just do what we did at the Elimination Chamber at the Royal Rumble. Then I think most people by the Elimination Chamber would have been more happy, much happier with Jay winning to take on Gunther. But let's talk about the first match that I would change, because of the current matches announced, there is one more match I do want to change, and that is going to be at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, honestly, this is one where I think a lot of fans are like, yeah, people wanted to see the match, but it's clear, and I talked about this already. You can check that video out here or wherever it is. Um, this feels rushed. This is a feud that should be happening, say, at SummerSlam. So I think, to me, again, I think I would have not done the cash in. I think I would have done Charlotte versus Nia Jax, which would have been a much better match. Because, truthfully, again, given the year that Nia Jax, not only the year, but since Nia Jax has come back and she's had this great run, and it feels like she's going to miss WrestleMania, and she doesn't really. It doesn't feel like she should miss WrestleMania after the year she's had. So I think if she was still the champion going into a match with Charlotte Flair, I think it would be more compelling. I think it wouldn't be this John Cena Austin Theory, the female version of John Cena Austin Theory of what we're getting now with Charlotte and Tiffany. Then you still have the cash in option where Tiffany could be the first woman to cash in at WrestleMania. Or Nia could cost her the cash in when she makes a triple threat match, and then Charlotte still wins, and then you can revisit Charlotte and Tiffany at a later date. So on Raw, again, we're getting this big conflict between Io, Rhea, Bianca. Adam Pearce did not make it official for a triple threat match, but next week on Raw from London, we are getting Rhea versus Io. Rhea gets her official rematch next week, and Bianca is the special guest referee. So I think we all know where this is going. So yeah, triple threat match between these three. If it wasn't for Punk, Roman, Seth, I think this would be a great night one main event. The women's tag titles. Now this here to me, when we talk about Drew McIntyre, deserving a better spot on the card. I think Liv Morgan kind of does deserve a little bit better than the tag team titles. But I think what we saw, based off what we saw on Raw, I think we're going to get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against Bayley and Lyra for the tag titles at WrestleMania. Now, I personally would like to see both mid-card titles being defended. So even if it's Lyra versus Ivy Nile or whoever, and then Chelsea versus someone like Selena Vega at WrestleMania, and you do one on Saturday, one on Sunday, that would be great. But it doesn't. I could see that more being a Raw before Mania or Raw after Mania, where they might have Lyra defend against Ivy Nile. Or if you do have Lyra defend her Intercontinental Championship, then Bayley would need a partner, and then in that case, you bring back Becky Lynch. And you have Bayley and Becky form a tag team and be tag team champions. Sticking to Monday Night Raw and what happened, the main event, Penta versus Braun Breaker. The Judgment Day got involved, and it does seem they're setting up a fatal four-way between Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Braun Breaker. I think this will be the match here, and quite honestly, the best finish for this match is to have Penta or Braun in position to win, about to pin Finn Balor. Then Dominic Mysterio throws him into the shoulder first into the ring post, and then he pins Finn to win the Intercontinental Championship. That's all I'm saying. The New Day is finally going to be doing something worthy here. They challenged the War Raiders to a tag team title match at WrestleMania. It seems like we're finally going to get there. Finally, they're going to do something with the New Day with this. We've been waiting months and months, and they've been doing this feud with the LWO, and it's like, are they ever going to do anything to capitalize on that Big E segment? And finally, I think we're finally going to get our answer. And I think after WrestleMania, with the New Day winning the tag titles, I think they're going to kick in the high gear going into the summer. And based off of Jimmy and Jay reuniting tonight on Raw when they took on 8-Town Down Under, I could really see them building to an Usos New Day tag team title match at some point, whether or not, at some point, either after WrestleMania, let's say Gunther retains, or maybe after Jay loses the world title, and then him and Jimmy reunite to go after the New Day, and then we get the reverse dynamic of the Usos versus the New Day. Alright, another, I think, predictable, easy match here. Jade versus Naomi. We know Naomi is the one who took out Jade, so that is an easy, predictable match. That is going to happen at WrestleMania. Another one, AJ versus Logan Paul. They're doing a segment next week. Logan Paul has already called out AJ Styles for next week in London, so I imagine AJ versus Logan will get confirmed next week on Raw. And then there's the entire SmackDown tag division, right? We got Pretty Deadly, the Street Profits, who just became tag team champions, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. I fully expect this to be a ladder match for those tag team titles, and probably open up either night 1 or night 2 at WrestleMania. And given the fact that the Street Profits just got the titles, I don't know if they're going to drop them that quickly, but I think it's in Las Vegas. It's the perfect time. Give us Pretty Deadly, the musical. And the next match that I would change, that's already announced, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. I would make this a fatal 4-way and add Drew McIntyre. Now, here's the thing. Nothing against Damian Priest, but I think for a lot of fans, like I said about Nia and like I said about Liv Morgan, Drew deserves a better position on the WrestleMania card based on the year that he had. So, given the history that Drew has with all three men in this match, Rollins, Punk, Reigns, adding him to the match makes a lot of sense. And honestly, even if you wanted to, you could even make this some kind of number one contender match where the winner gets to face either Cody, Cena, or Gunther, Jay. Something of that matter. Make it a fatal 4-way elimination match and let these four just beat the crap out of each other. Have great promos with each other, all the other fun stuff. But literally, adding Drew to this match, or hell, if you wanted to, you could just do Drew versus Roman. Sure, you have to find something for Punk and Seth, but I mean, the point is, this is the best way to make use of Drew McIntyre. And when I'll talk about Damian Priest in a second, you'll see where I have him slotted. Alright, now, we talked about the SmackDown. We talked about the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Let's talk about a Fatal 4-Way for the United States title, which I think for me, this is what I would do. Again, this is my improved WrestleMania card. LA Knight, yeah. Jacob Fatu, Solo, and Damian Priest. Look, I thought about putting Braun Strowman in here, but again, given the fact that there's Damian versus Drew, I needed to slot in Damian somewhere. And I feel like this is better placement for Damian at this time, especially since Drew, again, it's not that we don't want to see Damian versus Drew. It's just for both men, it feels like they should both be doing something different at WrestleMania. And I feel like Damian going for the US title is perfect placement for him, while Drew has that perfect placement in that Seth, Roman, and Punk match. So, yeah, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Jacob, Solo. Obviously, they're teasing more with Solo and Jacob breaking up. So, having them in a fatal 4-way where we could fully get to see potentially that come to fruition at WrestleMania. Yeah, so that's about 12 matches there. That leaves about 6 matches per night. So, I think that sounds about right. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think of my improved WrestleMania 41 card. This is probably going to be the card that we'll see other than the changes that I made. So comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.